Welcome to Heroes and Droids, your guide to movies and TV shows about superheroes, sci-fi, Disney, and action from Marvel to DC, from Star Trek to Star Wars, from James Bond to the Fast and Furious. We review the theatrical films and streaming delights you care about most. This week we're reviewing Muppets Haunted Mansion, streaming now on Disney+. I am your host, Doc Rodden, and this is episode 97. Joining me tonight is the crew, starting off with Christopher Slattery, known as the Slattman. Sir, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. If I was witty enough, I would totally make some like Muppets related joke about how we're celebrating 97 instead of 100. But you know, I'm not that witty.
You're kind of dry in the lack of wittiness. But let's just continue. Also joining us is podcasting Rockstar, international cosplay queen Vanessa. Vanessa, how are you doing? Chopping
Wonderful. Looking for a new love in my life at all times.
Does
See
Josh
the
know?
the two back here. He knows about these two.
Yep. Lucky number 6, right? Or are you on number 7? I don't know which one.
I never tell.
Never tell. All right. Also joining us is award-winning filmmaker Christopher G. Moore. Why am I stumbling over my words?
Yay!
Maybe because of the size of headstones tonight, Doc.
There's a bad joke in there somewhere.
I'm
not saying a thing. It would not be appropriate for Disney Plus.
I'm just going to run off the room 420 and be done. Christopher G. Moore with us. Yes, Christopher G. Moore, of course, is our King Prawn.
Oh, I love Pepe. Is my favorite. He's my favorite Muppet.
Yes,
he's my favorite Muppet.
Well, you got lots of Pepe.
They had him on like the Day Show or something, and he was hitting on the host, and it was so funny, so funny.
Dead prawn walking. What a great joke.
So many jokes on this.
Yes, it is. All right. So what we're going to do tonight is review Muppets Haunted Mansion, the show streaming on Disney+. We're going to start off giving our first impressions, which will be spoiler-free. Really, can you spoil the Haunted Mansion Muppets? I guess you can. Then we'll dive into a discussion about it. Yeah, there is. There are the cameos and whatnot. And then we'll wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. But before we do all that, we hope you enjoy not only this review, but many more that are on the site. And we hope that you can help us out by hitting the subscribe button, the like button, or share with a friend. It's easy and free to do, and it does help us a great bit. And for those that do it, thank you so much. And of course, we want to hear your comments down below. What did you think of Muppets Haunted Mansion? All right, let's throw the card up and get into this. It is streaming on Disney Plus beginning October 8th, 2021. Directed by Kirk R. Thatcher, written by Bill Barretta, Kirk R. Thatcher, and Kelly Younger. The cast includes Will Arnett, Taraji P. Henson, Darren Criss, Yvette Nicole Brown, Dave Goles, Bill Barretta, Eric Jacobson, Peter Lintz. The ghost include Alberto Ribeiro, Alfonso. Who's Alberto? I'm just going to give up. Ed Asner, Christine Metz, Danny Trejo, Pat Sajak, Craig Robinson, John Stamos, and many, many more. Synopsis is: on Halloween night, Gonzo is challenged to spend one night in a haunted mansion. Of course, Pepe is along for the ride. All right, let's dive into this, shall we? Hello, Christopher G. Moore.
Transformed into Muppet form. Chris, don't go in there. Don't go in the haunted mansion.
Don't go in.
I won't.
$9.99. All right, let's get into our first impressions.
I don't think
we're gonna start off with the Slattman. Slattman, start us off. I'm totally derailed.
You're welcome. I am too. That was as amazing as the Muppets Haunted Mansion, which is easily the best thing. It could arguably be the best thing that Disney has done with the Muppets property since they acquired it.
Oh, nice. I like that.
The more I think about it, the more I love it. And I think it's right up there with that 2011 Muppets movie. I think both of them are just fantastic. But I feel like this feels more like the Muppets that we know and love. So I love it. It's fantastic. The jokes are great. The writing is witty. Everything is just so fun. The cameos are fantastic and they feel like an old Muppet Show episode.
Me too.
And it just it's amazing. And I love, and not to get into like major spoilers or anything, but I absolutely love that it focuses on Gonzo and Pepe.
Yes, I do too.
I love Kermit, but it's nice to get a story that is centered around not Kermit the Frog, because every other Muppet thing outside of the Muppet Show was focused on Kermit the Frog. And there's so many other great Muppets out there. And this really showcases it. And my only complaint, and this is the only complaint I will give this entire episode, is that it just wasn't longer.
No, it's too short. Oh, why? I love it. You had me going there. You had me scared for a second. All right, Vanessa, what is your first impression of Muppets Haunted Mansion?
I'm gonna echo the Slattman because I loved this. It was so fun and wholesome, and the humor is so self-aware, and it's just great to watch. I'd put off watching it for a while because I really wanted to pay attention because I'd heard so many good things, and I'm glad that I did because it was so worth giving my attention to. And I can't wait just to have it on and watch it again and really just have it be a part of my Halloween season. It fits in so well. You can't be mad at Grim Grinning Ghosts ever, and to get more of that and to get it from the Muppets, it was just so good. And the human cast as well was just as good in this. I think they picked the perfect people, and you get some really fun and sweet cameos in here, and one of my favorite people was in it too, as a bit of a Black Widow bride.
Yes.
Poor Pepe, not to give away too much.
Spider grapes. Ugh.
Those are so gross. Hey, we got to do what we got to do. Right?
Yep. Tickle your tummy. All right, Christopher G. Moore. That's what he says. What was your first impression of Muppets Haunted Mansion?
I loved it. I mean, and I think, to be honest, I think my biggest problem, I mean, I thought the newer Muppet movies, I think, are okay. But I think what they were missing is they were focusing more on the human characters than the actual Muppets. And I feel like that's what make the Muppets movies Muppets, it's because it's all about them as opposed to the humans. And I think this is a perfect type of thing. I think we've always kind of worried about what Disney can do with the Haunted Mansion property, because they've made that the one with Eddie Murphy, and so it has such a morbid sense of humor that, the Muppets are the perfect sort of vessel to be able to sort of show a lot of that, because they're puppets. you can sort of put up with them being, talking about death and chopping people's heads off and that kind of stuff. But I think more than anything, I mean, I just love how, of course, we talked about Gonzo and Pepe. Pepe's like my favorite Muppet of all time. I just love that character. He has such a personality, the sense of humor. He's like some of my favorite. I loved, Muppets in Space. I mean, I love some of the different Muppet movies where they include them. And I think it's very ingenious in how not only does it tell its own little story using the Haunted Mansion, but it plays around. Well, if you've ridden the Haunted Mansion ride, you'll get all these different jokes. There's even a joke involving when the Haunted Mansion ride stops. And it's just funny that they have actually incorporated that. Or Waldorf and Statler are in one of the ride, the Doom buggy.
Yes.
And so, I mean, just the attention to detail and how they can also just sort of, they add these other extra characters. There's these 2 skeleton characters that always come in at the wrong time. It just becomes a running joke that made me laugh. And there's also parts I think really young kids actually might be scared. There's a John Stamos moment. I was like, whoa, that might scare some little kids. And it has, it has that cheesy sense of humor about it. But then there's other parts that are actually kind of funny with wordplay. And the songs are cool, but just everything, because we get and just seeing Muppet versions of all these different characters, whether it's the dancing ghosts, or the Fozzie's like the Hatbox Ghost. I mean, there's like, it's very kind of funny how they sort of found a way for each one of these characters to kind of work their magic within the realm of characters in that. And I think by sidelining Kermit and Miss Piggy, I think it was the best part of that, because I think they get so much focus in the films and properties. And I think it's nice that we get sort of a side venture with, Gonzo. So yeah, this was so much fun. And it kind of makes me kind of like, I guess they could easily see this as a one-off type thing, but now it makes me want to see what other stories can happen. But I don't know if you mind it too much, if it kind of sucks the fun out of it. But yeah, I just loved it. And it's just the little cameos by different people. Even if it's just a simple ghost or, so yeah, I don't know. I really thoroughly enjoyed this, where by the end of it, I was kind of smiling. I was like, this is the Muppets I've been missing. This is the Muppets that people think Disney's sort of sucked the soul out of. They seem to have got their souls back. They got out of the Haunted Mansion, and they're the Muppets that I remember growing up, and it felt like they were back. And I think, evidently the guy who directed it, or somebody who helped create it, had been thinking about this idea for a while. And so I think this is the perfect property that makes me very excited and makes me want to go ride the ride again.
Oh yeah. Well, it does take my favorite thing from Walt Disney World. Of course, I'm wearing my Haunted Mansion jacket right here, and I've got my Dune buggy sitting here, and I love my Dune buggy. Anyway, I am a huge Haunted Mansion fan. When I go to Disney World, I ride it over and over again. Best time to do so. I'm not even going to say it because I'll ruin it. Anyway, I who knew that the Muppets would work so well with the Haunted Mansion property, and they absolutely do. Putting these 2 properties together is absolutely brilliant and fantastic, and so much fun, so much joy. It gets to play with all the scary elements that are in the Haunted Mansion that are played for fun, and really just amp up that fun. It, having, make jokes about, you're light on your feet, but we don't have any feet. Ha ha ha. There's all these little things, that they throw in here, and, they go down the hallways. You get all the little, some of the things that they reference aren't even actually in the ride anymore, and they still reference them. That's awesome. And we get the great the dialogue that you hear from the beginning of the ride, about there's no no windows and no doors and all that great stuff. And it oh man, I fell in love with this. I absolutely adored this. This is the best thing. And I've already watched it 3 times.
Nice.
Already watched it 3 times. I could literally, I'll probably watch it every weekend through the holiday. I just really loves, and like you said, having Gonzo be the lead, it did feel more Muppet because of that. It didn't feel, it felt more authentically Muppet. If that's such a thing? Mm-hmm. There's plenty of Miss Piggy and plenty of Kermit in this. I mean, Kermit gets a really big scene. And then all the ones that all the famous the Muppets that you come outside of Gonzo that they all get their moment to shine. Even Fozzie Bear is playing the big organ, of course, right? So and it just when they showed up, I just loved it. And who knew Darren Criss would make a good caretaker for the.
I
I
know.
was
That
like,
very
I
sweet.
was like, oh no, oh, this actually works.
It worked. It did. It really worked.
And
I kind of love having like this. It's kind of like a Muppets Christmas Carol, right? But for Halloween.
for Haunted Mansion, yeah.
Yeah, for the Haunted Mansion, it just works so perfectly, and it kind of feels like that too. You know, you had the human characters and the Muppet characters, but it was a Muppet movie first and foremost.
Yeah. Now the dog, is that a Muppet that shows up, or is that the Muppet from that the Jim Henson TV show that scary TV show that they had, the Storyteller?
You might be right on that.
I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. But my favorite new Muppet is the Screaming Goat. Oh my God, that's
yeah. That
What's wrong with you,
me up.
man?
Well, I was thinking, I was like, that's how you sort of add a contemporary flair by taking something that's known as a meme and turning it into a Muppet. And it's a one-note joke, but then it kind of pops up again at the very end that made me laugh again. So I love that aspect of it, because it's like you can still see that you can still be the Muppets, and it doesn't feel, so retro that people don't get it. But just to have stuff like that still sort of adds that extra little flair that, just like, oh, that's that's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Yeah, it's such a simple joke, but it's so freaking effective.
I loved the musical numbers in this too.
Yeah, I was a little worried about them, when they start up, but they were perfect. We get two really good musical numbers, and then of course the ending song is fantastic with everybody singing it. It was just so wonderful.
Yeah, it's a fun one. I'm definitely gonna have it on. It's kind of like, like I said last year when the Star Wars one came out, that it was nice just to have on, to put on in the background and see on, and this kind of feels that way too. It's just easy to watch. There's nothing offensive about it. The jokes aren't stale, but they're also not going to hurt anybody's feelings per se, like it just feels good. It exists in its own like sphere of goodness. I'm glad that the Muppets still have that.
Yeah, it even has a throw to the Shining with the twins in the hallway as they're running down the hallway. And it's just like, come play with us, Gonzo, forever. It's just, there's so much fun stuff, and it brings in all the elements of the ride that you love. From the axe, the axe thing coming down, which was on the original ride, and they had to stop doing it. Yeah. And the Hatbox Ghost, of course, came and went a couple times, and the bride looked at a couple different ways, and we get the heart beating bride, which I love. And we get some callbacks to welcome, come on, or was it welcome back or something like that? Hurry back, yes, hurry back. And go ahead. You're going to say the same thing I was.
Just the fact that some of the Muppets are some of the set pieces, like how Beaker and Dr. Honeydew are the busts that follow you. Yeah.
And then they make fun of the fact that, like, oh, we just get
this is my only cameo.
And I love that the band's part of Madame Leota's music. It's instead of having the instruments, it's the band.
Well, and that Miss Piggy would be.
Oh, it's perfect.
She's the perfect person to be in that.
And then Kim Irvine is the lady that comes up and does the cleaning, and she's the daughter of Leota Tombs.
I was wondering who that was. I know that the guy who does the voice from the Haunted Mansion has a small cameo in one part because you can hear his voice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and also we get Danny Trejo as a ghost. And
in prison garb.
Yeah.
He makes a taco
and the big
joke.
one, right?
He does make a taco joke. Bring me tacos. Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Yeah, the big cameo.
Yeah, I absolutely love this. I don't. What can you say? I mean, there's nothing bad to say about it. I mean, I don't think they, it never gets dull. It never feels like a misstep.
has that heartfelt Muppet moment when when Gonzo realizes what he's actually afraid of. Like
Yes.
that's what I think of when it comes to the Muppets. It's like those lessons that you can learn that they try to incorporate sometimes.
Yeah, they fooled us. They actually had a moral of the story.
Yeah.
Well, that and the just the production design on it, because even when he's doing that, the door unlocks and they're like little skull things.
Oh, they look great.
I mean, just everything from the wallpaper and everything. They like the paintings and stuff, which have Muppets in them. I mean, there's like so many little things. I thought they did such a great job in sort of like recreating or creating for the sort of like the gothic vibe of everything that's going on.
Even the wallpaper was Muppetized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
still look like it, but it.
Although I'd also like the joke that Miss Piggy and Froggy dressed up as each other. Miss Piggy and Kermit dressed up as each other.
Yes,
and then they made the joke of, and then she's using it to her advantage.
Guess who wrote that joke? I
did. Oh man! Well, I think everybody listening and watching has gotten the point. We love the Muppet Show, and we love Muppets Haunted Mansion, and we love the Haunted Mansion. So it's all good. So let's wrap this up with our final thoughts. Our score, a 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. Slattman, sir, you are up first.
Yeah. So this is perfect Muppets. This is what I love about the Muppet Show. This is what I love about the Muppet movies. And it does have that kind of modern Disney-esque feel to it, without of like the newer Muppets things, but it doesn't feel like a new Muppets property. And that's what's amazing about it, I think. And it's fantastic, and I love it. And how can I give it anything less than a 5?
Can't.
Yeah, it's just the jokes are amazing. The musical numbers, while they aren't overwhelming, they're there, and that's pure Muppets. And like, why is that? The cameos, pure Muppets. It's great. It's so amazing. And I'm just,
it's like
I'm so,
a show.
Yeah, I'm so happy we have it. The fourth wall breaks are just so, it's just, I'm feeling very redundant because all I'm saying is I'm like the bum bum.
No, I love
it's like
it's so funny.
Just keep repeating myself.
Oh, we missed the big one. What was the joke? What was the joke at the door when he looks at the audience and he goes, "Oh, I get it." What was that? We don't remember, but it's funny.
Just another reason to go watch it.
I know.
But
yeah, watch it again.
Absolutely love it. My favorite scene was you mentioned it earlier. It was when the lights come on and they give the spiel from the actual haunted mansion of like of how of everyone stay in your dune buggies. Your tour will resume shortly. That cracked me up.
Yeah, it was perfect. I'll have to admit, I was kind of like a little bummed at the beginning. I was like, oh man, we're not going to get the Doom Buggy. And then of course it showed up that one time. I said, oh, the Doom Buggy actually gets its own cameo. How funny. All right, Vanessa, you're up next. What is your final thoughts, your score, and favorite scene?
I loved this too. It absolutely gets a 5 from me. I loved the cameos. I didn't even notice Pat Sajak until I saw him at the end, and I was like, what? I loved our little grim grinning ghost heads, the statue heads that they brought in to harken back to the ride. It just felt so good watching this. I felt so good. It made me feel so good today. And with that, my favorite scene is a feel good kind of moment scene. And I love the moment when Gonzo realizes, like Kermit always said, you don't have to do great things to be great. You just are great, Gonzo. And I was like, you are great, Gonzo. And then, of course, he goes to save Pepe because now he knows like the meaning of everything, right?
Yes. Pepe.
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 If I don't get some horsey derves, ASPCA, I'm leaving.
ASPCA. I actually had to pause it when he said ASPCA and rewind it because I was like, did he say what I think he said?
They have a lot of fun with this dialogue.
Christopher G. Moore, your final thoughts, your score, favorite scene?
This is just fun. I mean, I think this is probably one of the most enjoyable things they've ever put on Disney Plus. And maybe I'm biased because I love Haunted Mansion so much, and I want them to create more stuff that isn't just sort of goofy stuff like that Under Wraps movie they dropped. But I don't know. I love. To me, this feels like the return to Muppets because I think they've kind of been struggling a little bit. They've done a few different Muppet type things that felt kind of out of sorts, and this felt like the first time it felt something that directly connected to the Muppet movies that I grew up watching. Because even the newer Muppet movies felt a little bit forced to me, and I think mainly because it was always focused more on the humans than the Muppets. And this is perfect. And I think taking a little side venture with Gonzo and Pepe is the perfect thing to tell this type of story, because I don't think it would. You have to have weird people going into the Haunted Mansion for it to make sense. And I think if it had been Miss Piggy and Kermit, it just wouldn't have felt right. So yeah, this is a lot of fun. It had a lot of fun with a lot of the elements. It's a perfect sort of way to sort of pay homage to the Haunted Mansion ride, and there's so many Easter eggs involving the ride in this that if you're a fan, you'll get it and you'll smile when you see them. It's a 5 ghosts out of 5 ghosts.
I found the way out.
Yeah. In fact, it's just like I want to go back. So let's figure out a way to tell a story for them to go back. Because there's 99 ghosts in there, so there's probably 999 ghosts. So there's enough sort of like other stories or maybe other parts of the house we haven't gone to. As for favorite scene, it's kind of hard because I've like I might be still in docs, but I think my favorite moment is there was one part. It's like why isn't this part showed up? And in the very end,
yes,
they popped up.
Yes,
because it's such a popular part of the ride. And the whole time I'm like, oh, well, why didn't they incorporate that? And then they incorporate it in a very, very, really cool way. So
they do a great way. Yes.
So I'll have to say that's probably my favorite scene, just because the whole time I'm like, why haven't we seen these characters?
If I'm not mistaken, they're the only ones that aren't Muppetized.
Yeah, they're still kind of Muppety, but they're more real world versions of that. They're Muppet versions of those characters, I think.
They look very similar to the effects that they use on the ride now.
Yeah.
Like the PhotoPass photos when they insert them in.
Oh, well, maybe, I guess that's also probably why they did that, because then it pays tribute to when you're on the ride and the ghosts pop up and that kind of thing. So I guess maybe that's a way they can tie into the sequel is he's dead, but yeah, I think that's my favorite moment.
I could easily have chosen that as well. So this is a better Haunted Mansion movie than the Haunted Mansion movie was.
Oh.
It just really it absolutely captures the spirit of the ride, and it melds it perfectly with the spirit of the Muppets, and in a way that like we said, Disney hasn't really shown that it can do yet. And I think this one shows that they are getting maybe there's hope. They are getting a handle on this property, and we're going to get some really good Muppet stuff. This just is an instant classic for me. I mean, I could watch this every year at this season multiple times, and it's not. Like I said, I've watched it 3 times since it's come out. It doesn't doesn't stop being funny. It gets funnier, and it's just, oh my God. And it just brings in, so like you said, so many elements of the ride, and melds it with the Muppets, the Hatbox Ghost. And, it's everything. I'm just going to shut up. It's everything. I love it. It's 5. How can I not give it 5? I need to watch it 2 more times to back that up. My favorite scene, I'm going to have to say, since I can't take the ending, I'm going to take the beginning. They're in the room where they bring you in, and they say, there's no windows and no doors. The challenge is this: how do you find a way out? And then they have fun with that, and they break a gag, and then of course and what makes it great is it has the screaming goat, and that screaming goat was the best thing. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. And like 2 things. Where did he go? And why are you screaming like that?
What's wrong with you, man?
And of course, shout out the most, the MVP, and that's Pepe, because King Prawn all the way, and his fainting. He could faint 100 times, and I would laugh. His fainting was amazing. He is the boss fainter of all Muppets. No Muppet can faint, as well as Pepe. Although somebody else did faint. Who? Oh, one of the ghosts at the beginning fainted because of the ink would kill her, right? And then she falls over. And Pepe and Gonzo go like that. It's just all these subtle little gags like that. It's well done. Well done. I'm golf clap on this.
You're my king, Prawn.
I know.
Let me ask you guys, instead of a Muppets Haunted Mansion sequel, how would you feel about a Muppets, insert other ride here? Like if Muppets got a Jungle Cruise or a Pirates or a Big Thunder Mountain.
Yes.
Yeah. Or It's a Small World.
It's a Small World.
Well, maybe not that.
I don't know, because it's a little tougher. Well, I know. I mean, maybe they could do the Pirates and
So Small World is pushing it, but other ones do definitely have a story baked into it.
Well, they could have one where you go through and they're in different iterations. Like one part's the Haunted Mansion, other part's the Pirates ride. In other parts it's a Small World. It's a Muppet world. I mean, well, yeah, but it could be interesting having them and the Muppets playing different parts, I mean,
that would be a lot of fun.
It would be. I mean, I guess they could always, they do like the
yes, exactly.
Nightmare Before Christmas change on the Haunted Mansion. What if they did something involving the Muppets at some point?
Oh my God, they should, because it would be
certain times of the year.
It's so good. I was thinking the same thing. Is like because they do that at Christmas, right? Don't they? Right? Don't they?
Yeah, Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, but during Halloween, put the Muppets in there. Oh my God, that'd be so awesome. And the kids would love it.
Yeah, that would be so cute.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That's our review of Muppets Haunted Mansion. It is streaming now on Disney Plus. It will probably be streaming forever on Disney Plus, and you should watch it. You have Disney Plus. We know you do. So check it out and let us know what you think below. And answer Chris's question: what ride could they do? Are they gonna? What's the one with the Yeti? They could do that one. That'd be.
Oh yeah. The one in Disneyland.
No, in
Mount Everest.
Yeah,
Expedition Everest.
Expedition, yeah.
I thought you were talking about crap. What's
you're talking about the other one, Matterhorn? You're thinking
Matterhorn.
Yeah.
Matterhorn would be fun too.
Yeah, they could do the Matterhorn.
Gosh, that would be so crazy.
Yeah. Anyway,
Planet Earth, but Muppets Planet Earth, and they're in space. Oh, that would be so cute. Spaceship Earth, that's what it's called, right? Spaceship.
As long as I get to go to the Cola Cool shop or whatever it is, yeah, it's fine. All right, guys, there you go. Slattman, Christopher, Vanessa, of course. Thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun. So much fun.
Bum.
Let's go watch it again.
Yes, and faint. All right, let's say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Say it again.
Hurry back and make sure to bring your death certificate.
So good. Good night, everybody. Thank you.